This is C-Mac's EziBagger machine. My name's Robert McMaster and I'm General Manager for C-Mac Industries. This machine was developed 30 years ago by my father for putting potting mix into plastic pots in the nursery industry. Since then, the machine's been developed by our nursery division and is now widely utilised in all different industries. It's one of our most popular products. To start off using the machine, the customer needs to load his materials in the hopper at the top using a front-hand loader or a conveyor system. The material is then falls down through the hopper and sits on the vibrating conveyor underneath it. It feeds down the vibrating conveyor over the hinged chute and into the bag. The bag can consist of being a Hessian bag, plastic bag, whatever the customer requires. To fill the bag, it can be done three different ways. We can fill it manually using the foot pedal, just by holding the bag underneath the chute and operating the foot pedal. The second way of doing it is to set a timer operation, where you just press the foot pedal and it'll run for 2, 3, 6 seconds, however long you'd like it to run to fill the bag. The third option is to use the scale system, where you set a scale weight of 25 or 40 kilos or 15 kilos. You press the foot pedal once and the material flows out of the chute continuously and it stops when the bag reaches that weight. Once the bag is full, it is lifted onto a metal slide on our static conveyor. It can be slid along then to the heat sealer, where we can heat seal a plastic bag or use a stitching machine to sew up a Hessian bag, or wiring up with a wire using a little hand wiring gadget. The hopper has been developed over a number of years with various angles and different radiuses in the corners to facilitate a better flow of the material. The hopper's made of galvanised steel normally, then it's etched prime and with 2 coats of enamel. Some hoppers, however, have been made of stainless steel to give extra long life because of corrosive products, or in the food industry where stainless steel is a requirement. On top of the hopper is a hungry board. The hungry boards are made to order to suit the customer's requirements. Hungry boards are different sizes because customers have different size front-end loaders that can reach different heights and have different width buckets. The galvanised steel frame has the legs attached separately. This is to assist customers with the different shapes and falls of terrain. The whole unit is modularised, so it can be made the most economical way possible, and it helps keep the price down. Also on the galvanised frame we have these forklift slippers, so the machine can easily be moved around, but we must remember it shouldn't be full of sand when we're doing that. Another reason these legs are made separately is some customers require the units to be mobile, so they can be mounted on trailers and moved around the countryside to wherever they're needed. Here at the back of this EziBagger machine, this rear leg has been manufactured shorter to allow for this step here, so the customer could get his machine back hard against the wall. If he wanted, he could have actually mounted this here back on the loading dock. Just below the hopper is a stainless steel chute. The stainless steel chute is suspended by wire rope, which are made of stainless steel as well, and they're attached to the galvanised frame. On the back of this chute is a electromagnetic vibrator, which is manufactured in-house at CMAC. The vibrator works on a magnet which turns itself on and off. Now that magnet turns itself on and off at 50 cycles per second. What that means is that the chute will move forward and then return, and move forward and return at 50 cycles per second. Now the chute is on an angle, so if you imagine the chute on an angle, it's like a grader, it pushes the sand forward and then comes back. Pushes it forward, comes back, sand drops down, pushes the sand forward, comes back, more sand drops down and pushes it forward. So that gives it the flow that the material needs to pull out of the hopper and come forward into your bag. On both sides of the hopper is a vibrator unit which is run by 240 volt. These motors have eccentric weights on them which cycle at 3,000 revs per minute. The weights give a hammering action of approximately 30 kilos per cycle. These side vibrators can be adjusted to give you different forces depending on the product. When it leaves the factory, it's got an impact of 30 kilos. On the side of the EziBagger is our electronic control box. The unit is mounted back behind the framework to help protect it. Basically, the unit runs on 240 volt. We have an isolator switch, have a power on indicator. We have our side vibrators, which I was talking about earlier on. We have our chute vibrator adjustment. And over the side here we have our control, which we can turn on to manual for working the foot pedal, or we can turn it on to timer to set the timer operation, which is set by this control, so you can set the number of seconds. And the final position is the weight, which is used to use the scale unit